So people are like, Jem, have you lost your mind? Why even talk to these guys on the internet about this stuff? Why even stand up for what you believe in as far as your views on pro wrestling? And I said to myself, I said, you know what? I have a right to stand up for myself because I feel like I can educate a lot of the wrestling fans today on just how great pro wrestling used to be. Some would deem it stuck in the past. Some would deem it, well, it wasn't that good. I mean, I saw people saying what was so great about a bunch of 80s wrestlers all jacked up on steroids. You guys just you don't get it. I mean, you just don't get it because WWE has been so bad for so long. It's all you know is them being bad. I mean, guys, back in the day, I mean, I'm telling you, superstars, Raw, Sunday, what was it? The Sunday Challenge, Primetime Wrestling, WCW Nitro, even before that, WCW Saturday Night. I mean, it was such an awesome time to be a fan with so many legendary Hall of Fame wrestlers. And for me, when I see this current group of wrestlers like Dolph Ziggler and just for me, super boring wrestler, I just don't. I can't feel it. I used to really like when the wrestlers were all characters. You know, like the Million Dollar Man. He was the rich aristocrat, and guys just had gimmicks, and it was just a lot more fun. And it just seems like to me that, guys used to do a lot more promos, like Rick the Model Martel and Jake the Snake. And I saw Chris's video earlier. It was the glamour girls, not the gorgeous girls. It was, who was it? Judy Martin, Leilani Kai. People they don't really understand. But for me, let's see, we're in 2017. So, go back 30 years to 1987 and think about 1987 in wrestling. Ric Flair and Ronnie Garvin battling for the NWA World Title in a steel cage at Starrcade. What was WrestleMania 7? It was the WrestleMania 3 in 1987 in the Pontiac Silverdome. And when the fans were fans, and they actually thought that Hulk and Andre really hated each other and they were really going to fight. And it was fun. It suspended disbelief. Nowadays, if they put on WrestleMania 3 with Hulk and Andre, everyone would just shit on it, and it sucks too because there was a time as wrestling fans we used to believe, we used to believe in what we were seeing. The last time anything major happened that, we really weren't expecting was when the Undertaker got his streak snapped. But I mean, look at the difference between the wrestling fans now, like WrestleMania 32, where everyone shit on the show, even though WWE put 100,000 people in there. And look at how much everybody loves WrestleMania 3. It's just a different crowd now. And it just frustrates me because I can't see eye to eye with you guys on views. For me, my preference is older stuff. When I was a kid, I came up with the VHS tapes. I came up with the early Royal Rumbles, early Survivor Series, early WrestleManias. And I could remember an emotional attachment. Like, I could remember a card on a show from like 30 years ago. Like what? Let me just do one. Royal Rumble, let's see, 91. Hogan and Slaughter. And then Hogan won the Royal Rumble. Shit like that. But now I couldn't tell you what was on the card last month. It just seems like to me that old wrestling was more memorable than today's wrestling. One thing that was cool that they used to do too back in the day, they used to not have pay-per-views, every 2 weeks. They used to build the pay-per-views up. You would wait 4 or 5 months for SummerSlam, and then you get all excited because you waited the 4 or 5 months, and then they would totally deliver. Now you got 4 or 5 weeks. One guy wrote, it's an evolution, and yeah, it's an evolution, but damn, it's not as fun as it used to be. I'll ride old school all day, and I'm not going to be quiet about it. And I know that, a lot of people are watching this video right now. A lot of people are watching this video. A lot of people like this channel. A lot of people like that I stand up for old school. It's like hit and miss, like half don't. But I ride with the guys who grew up with this stuff, who remember the SummerSlams with the Mega Bucks and the Mega Powers. Just how awesome, you waited all summer to see what was going to happen with the Macho Man and Hulk versus Andre and DiBiase. You waited all summer, and then it came, and then it delivered, and the way it's fallen down is just incredible. Like this year at SummerSlam with what was it, Finn Balor? He was way up there wrestling for the Universal Belt. I didn't care, half these shows they do these days, I don't care, and it's just it kills me on Raw. A legit beef. What kills me on Raw? One, the commercial breaks are just terrible. Right during the middle of a match, it makes it hard to get into a match. And then they put the cruiserweights in there, and it's like the cruiserweights aren't really doing like what the cruiserweights in WCW used to do. The cruiserweights in WCW used to just be awesome, and man, it's just not the same. Wrestling is not the same. For me, it's like it's not memorable anymore. And the stuff they're doing now, I really feel like WWE is kind of running an indie promotion, and they're catering to the internet wrestling fan. And call it stuck in the past, but wrestling used to be so much more memorable when they built a pay-per-view properly. The wrestlers had like legit feuds with each other, and then you cared about the match so much more, and it's like, who really has a feud in the WWE right now that makes you really stand up and pay attention? I mean, we're gonna get into the good stuff coming up. If they do Cena and the Undertaker, that'll be cool. But I don't know about the undercard and stuff. But just a lot of fill matches. The wrestlers aren't the same. I don't think the wrestlers want it as bad as they used to. It's just not. It's not memorable at all. That's just my opinion. I'm not necessarily a bad guy. One guy says you're going through a midlife crisis and blah. I'm just saying how I feel. That I remember wrestling being really memorable. I remember the wrestlers being memorable, and that's just my opinion on that. So tradition will always rule for me, right or wrong. It's just where I'm coming from. Thank you.